Welcome to another episode of Shots from the Winchester podcast, brought to you by Greencastle Consulting. I'm your host, Al Green. So we're here with another new episode of Meet the GACer with Jacob Nieto. And Jacob, how long have you been working here at GAC?
About 7 months now.
7 months. Oh,
Yeah.
So you're getting close to your first year.
I am. I'm getting close to getting a paddle here.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
That's really cool. Yeah. I just found out that the paddles got changed up a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that at GAC Day. Yeah.
But that's fun. So thank you so much for your time for being on the show and talking with us today. Some of the things we're going to jump in to talk about are sports. I hear you're a big sports fan, especially with the Eagles.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into some of that. We're also going to talk about what it means to work here at GAC, what it means to, do your best and put your best foot forward, things like that. So before we get started, we have some whiskey in front of us.
All right. Yeah.
And since this is Shots from the Winchester, we like to take a shot sometimes. We don't always do it, but, we just definitely like to try to, take advantage of the fact that we have a bar here at Greencastle Consulting and a lot of other things, a lot of fun amenities and stuff like that. So let's take a little shot here.
Cheers.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's good.
that wasn't even a full shot for me, man.
That's good. And you said that's a Pennsylvania whiskey?
This is Pennsylvania whiskey. Yeah. This is really good.
Yeah.
It's got a nice little burn there.
Yeah.
All right. So Jacob, let's just jump in first let's just talk about your career. Now you're in the Air Force.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your career getting here to Greencastle.
Yeah, so a little bit more on the untraditional path. So I joined the Guard right out of high school, and then I went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Nice. So I did my basic training, my technical school, MOS for some folks that are Army. So I'm security forces, essentially military police. We're kind of multifaceted. We do aircraft security. We also do base security. So we run a lot of military police functions for the Air Force as well.
Nice.
So I joined that right out of high school. Went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania, out in Western PA. I say IUP sometimes or Indiana, and people get associated with Indiana, the state. So try and make that clarification. But so I went to IUP. I deployed 3 times while I was there. Got a lot of great experience, especially from leaders. I got to grow up essentially learning from, a lot of the leaders and mentors that I hold kind of near and dear to my heart, made me who I am today. Then I became an AGR, so Active Guard Reserve. So it's the Pennsylvania Air National Guard, 193rd Special Operations Wing out of Middletown, PA.
Oh, wow.
So I became an AGR full-time there, was an E6 technical sergeant. We had a job posting for commissioning opportunity. So I got to commission within my security forces unit. And what that meant for me was there was no active position for me. So what I had to do was, go searching what I wanted to essentially do when I grew up.
Yeah.
What I was doing in the military was more so the unit training manager on the full-time side. So I was planning training. I was going through and making sure we were meeting all requirements. So that kind of aligned with a lot of project management skills. So I started looking into my PMP. I got my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt while I was still in and active.
Wow.
And I actually got invited down to a happy hour down here. So about last July, I came down to a happy hour and was introduced to GAC. I got to see the bar here, the golf simulator. That was a big draw. So, I got to see all the facilities. I got to talk with Eric, the CFO. I talked with him for about an hour, and it was great. And that was my first introduction to the culture here, and that was something that was very important to me. So. Finding that same culture that we have in the military, you can't find that everywhere. You can't just teach that or coach that. It's something that has been built into us over, the terms of our service.
Right.
And here you could just get the feeling. Everybody was coming up to me. They see a new face. They were introducing themselves.
Yeah.
I was asking questions, and I just got a great feeling about this place. And I hadn't made the official decision to leave yet, but I knew this is where I wanted to be. So I really owe a lot to GAC as far as, my reason for commissioning was, I felt that I had a place, a home that I could come to, I could thrive, and I could, reach my full potential at, and that they would foster me, like growing me in the future as a professional. So I've learned a lot here from the folks about military leadership as well as leadership in this industry. So I applied, I got in, and then I started in January.
Nice.
And just to kind of speak volumes about GAC is about a month and a half after I started, I received my officer training school dates, which is about 2 months, 60 days.
Oh, wow.
And, I was really nervous about that, coming into a new job. I wanted to, really cement myself here, prove my value, especially for them taking a chance on me. So,
Right.
they were very supportive. Commissioning means a great deal, especially to prior enlisted.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they were, very supportive. GAC really kind of fostered that for me. It made me, not stress about, not only leaving my family, but also leaving my career here.
Right.
And potentially something going wrong with that. So
Right.
the leadership here, everybody that was on my team, from Stronghold Leadership, they were very supportive and helped me go to that school and get through that and return seamless integration back in. I think I started a week after I got home.
Wow.
And I was right back in it, right back on
Wow.
on a project. And yeah, so that's kind of my journey. A little bit long-winded, but it's kind of an untraditional path. But I'm very thankful to be here, and it's been great 7 months. And I can't wait to see kind of where it goes in the future.
That's amazing. There's so many ways. Like even I found this this opportunity through LinkedIn as just a cold message, and I'm like, who are these people? And it wasn't really until I watched one of these episodes of Meet the GACer that I could really understand the culture and the people and what this meant to them, as far as this goes. And being a veteran-owned and operated business, there's not very many businesses that just focus solely like that, You were already in the Air Force, already thinking about being a project manager.
Yeah.
Was this something that you strove for, or was it something that you actually just found you enjoyed while you were in the military?
So I found that I enjoyed it. I enjoy being in a team setting. I don't like accomplishing things without other people around to enjoy the kind of fruits of our labor.
Some high fives.
Yeah, exactly. That's always greater to me is, those accomplishments shared in a team setting with other people. It creates those kind of core memories that you keep chasing after, I guess you could say, in the future. So it was something that was brought up to me by my commander at the time, and noticed that I just kind of had the knack for the little skills that are good indicators for project managers.
Right.
And I was actually looking through the Air Force Cool program. So it's a certification program that allows different career fields to go out and get certifications in the civilian industry, whatever industry that may be in particular to their career fields in the Air Force. And so I was looking into PMP already prior to coming here.
Oh, wow.
And the Air Force would have, facilitated that, me being active and using that program. So it was something I was already looking into. And then when I came onto GAC, I was already applied and accepted to PMI, Project Management Institute, for my PMP test. So I took with Stronghold Leadership, I took the PMP prep course and tested a month later. So
nice.
It was already something that I was kind of going down that path. Even if the opportunity wasn't here, I still would have had that certification, and I still would have continued to pursue project management. Whatever that looked like, whether it was here or with another organization. But once I came here, it kind of solidified, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to be part of this culture. I want to be part of this organization. Especially being veteran-owned and operated, it just has that natural draw to it. We're such a tight-knit community, and all we want to do, going back to the team setting, all we want to do is see each other succeed. And that's really what I've gotten here since day one, is anything that I need help with, I always, pay it forward now because I've been here a little bit more experience, and now I'm paying it forward to try and help newer GACers. So everybody's been super helpful. Nice. Everybody always approaches you very friendly. GAC Days is great. The culture building there is great to get to know more people within the company as we start to grow. So it's just it's been amazing. But project management, it really solidified it when I came to the happy hour. This is what I want to do.
Nice. As once you get in here, you see the place, you get to meet the people. You feel like, I just definitely want to be here. I just definitely want to hang out here. I just want to be a part of this. Speaking of teams, switch gears, let's go to sports, because I haven't, since 2020, since COVID hit, I used to be a big Eagles fan in football. I used to watch it all the time. Then when things shut down and I started doing my own transitions, just kind of started falling off of sports a little bit. So I am curious to know what's going on with the Eagles right now.
Yeah, they cause a lot of stress in my life. But I've got two daughters, so 4 and 2-year-old,
Yeah.
and they already know the Eagles fight song. They love singing it. We took them to a preseason game this year, and
Nice.
they saw the thousands of people singing the song and got to enjoy that.
Nice.
So hopefully I don't set them up for too much disappointment in the future. But no, the team's been going in a great direction.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts kind of coming out of his shell, and last year just exploding. A lot of people before last year were in and out on Jalen Hurts on whether or not he was the franchise quarterback going forward.
Right.
My purview was, hey, let's see how this guy does this
Yeah.
year. Full starter, second year in that system, and yeah, he's been doing really well. Last year, obviously, huge success, making it to the Super Bowl. We were so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this year it's been. They've got a new offensive coordinator this year.
Okay.
So their previous one left, took a head coaching job. So this year they're just trying to find that chemistry with all the weapons that he has with
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. So Jalen's just trying to kind of find, I think, that chemistry that he needs with the OC and how he calls plays, when he calls plays, his tendencies, and that takes time. Luckily we started
Yeah.
off 2-0, but a little bit stuff to clean up. But
Yeah.
no, I'm feeling really good about him. We make one thing that the reason why I really enjoy sports is they've brought a lot of people that are still close to me in my life. They've brought all of us together.
Nice.
So football Sundays are a big thing in our house where we're getting together with friends, we're getting together with family, and we're watching the games. I love that my daughters get to sit there and they're like, hey, who's the good team, who's the bad team? And then they know the Eagles logo. They're like, oh, that's the good team. So it's just brought a lot of us closer together.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that aspect of it, and kind of investing yourself in something that's bigger than you. That's GAC, the Eagles, whatever it may be, whatever your hobbies or your interests may be, investing into a community always gives you that a good feeling inside.
It's good for the soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And to feel those ups and downs. You might not
Yeah.
have even though we're along for the ride, as we're not part of the team, but
Yeah.
the community around the Eagles.
Well, don't say that too loud, because some people are really like
Yeah,
part of the team.
yeah, I know. I said we earlier, like I'm part of the team. But no, yeah, it's just good to be a part of a community, whatever community that may be.
Right.
And that's something that I really enjoy, is being able to talk about that with other people, and you get to feel those ups and downs with other folks. So
Yeah.
so it's been fun the last couple of years with the Eagles, but we'll see how the rest of the season plays out.
Yeah, I was a fan of Foles when they had him on. I thought he was good. I thought he just as much as anything, all our guys get injured, or you want the defensive line to hold it down so that the quarterback doesn't get sacked and get injured more. But I know Jalen's been taking some hits. How do you feel like the longevity and who's second right now?
So Marcus Mariota is our backup quarterback right now.
Yeah.
But and he's proven himself Heisman winner, Oregon. So and Jalen, he has the best offensive line in football in front of him. You watch Jason Kelsey and his podcast with his brother Travis.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
he's always a character. He just had a documentary come out that I started watching. Yeah, and you just see what kind of leader he is, and it's just and you can see the emotion and the passion, and like that's something that even if you're not a sports fan, you can take something away from that. Just seeing, how to be a leader, how to put yourself out there, make yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the best offensive line in football. He's going to start, you could see him start running a little bit different than he did last year.
Yeah.
Trying to preserve his body.
A little more cautious.
Yeah, a little bit more cautious,
Makes
not
sense.
taking those big hits.
Yeah.
Which is good for all Eagles fans.
Yeah.
But we want him back there for a while.
Right.
Just signed him to a big contract. So
Yeah.
I think he'll be good. He's very smart, and if you watch his press conferences, he approaches the game with such like tenacity, and he has great situational awareness out there. So I think he'll protect himself, even if he gets out in like the open field and making some smart decisions. So I think we're good for a few years.
Yeah.
There's a few guys that have been paid a lot, so we'll see how that kind of shakes out. But Nick Sirianni's done a great job, and it's just so much fun to watch him.
And they're evolving into each other as well anyway, because, you got to figure it out. Eventually who the guy you're going to hit downfield is going to be, who's got that reliability, those sticky hands, you know, definitely need it out there.
Build up the trust.
And since GAC, Greencastle has a box out there at the Lincoln Financial. So I love being in the environment in that stadium, just the energy of the people, and some of the little halftime things that are happening when the TV doesn't see it, but you're there to experience it. But I also miss listening to the commentators talking about it if I'm not there at the game, if I'm at the game, there. So it's fun that we have the box seats because you can kind of do both. You got a little TV there that's, you can hear some of the stuff going on. You can look out at the field. So that's pretty cool. So I'm glad GAC has one of those situations going on there.
It's just one of the awesome, kind of amenities that we have here, just opportunities that we have to enjoy the culture, enjoy the people. Because that's like I said earlier, that's a big gathering in our box seats that you get to know other people. We get to take clients come out and see our culture, see what we're about, and see how we interact with each other and get to know us as people. So it's a good opportunity for our clients to come out as well and just get to interact with us. And it's also for teams to kind of build camaraderie. So if my team were to go out and I go out with them, I get to know them a little bit better. We do have some people that are more remote than others, so it's just we don't get together. We don't have the chance to get together a lot, or as much as we probably all would like. So those are just big opportunities for us to get to know each other, get to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and be able to leverage them. Whatever situation we're in.
Now you're also a Philadelphia Phillies fan. And we've had Ed Wade on the show. We've had Ruben Amaro Jr. on the show. We've also had Larry Boa.
Larry Boa, I saw
Larry
that
Boa,
one,
on the show. One of the things that's interesting, this is a good segue into leadership. One of the things that they've mentioned, all of them have mentioned, has been failure. And how failure informs your leadership skills moving forward, like understanding how to grow from that. Not everything works out exactly how you have it planned, and so how you come out of that builds character. Can you talk about a little bit of leadership qualities, maybe any stories that you've encountered, things that you take to heart as far as that goes?
Yeah, so something I learned early on was to you always look at the people that you see as successful, that are like-minded. Something that we do well here at GAC is everybody's very like-minded, very in the mindset of GSD. So you look for that in the military growing up, and I was lucky enough to find good mentors, team leaders, just watching what they were doing, educating myself on other leaders as far as Admiral McCraven was one. He has a good book out right now, The Wisdom of the Bullfrog, and he goes through a bunch of mantras from different military branches and talks through them, shares stories. And going back to the failure piece, it's not just, I've definitely failed in my career, whether that's big or small. And yes, you take, your lessons learned, you have your time with your team where, hey, ranks off at the door. Let's talk about what actually happened, where we can all get better, or where I can get better as a leader. So I think that's valuable, having that constructive feedback. It's something that it's not as common anymore as far as feedback, but being able to have those relationships with your teammates and being able to accept that constructive feedback, that's something that I've really grown into. And as a leader, I like to do, making sure that we're all sitting around a room and making sure that we're talking and not disrespectful or in any manner, but just being able to understand professionally where we made mistakes and where we can learn from.
Lay out the facts.
And not only my mistakes, but you also learn from other leaders' mistakes.
Absolutely.
And as a leader, if I make a mistake, I would love to impart that knowledge on the next future leader, because I don't want them to make the same mistakes as I did. And I think a big part of leadership too is just knowing your people, because if you don't know your people, and if you don't know your job to the nth degree, you can't build those relationships where they're feeling comfortable enough to share that constructive feedback with you. How are you going to react? I'm not sure. I'm not close enough. But if I pull somebody aside and I can talk to them without ranks on, and just being like, hey, this is where you messed up, this is why you messed up, but this is how we can get better at it. So,
Right.
you know, providing that feedback in that manner,
Yeah.
it goes a long way with people. I mean, I've seen it in my career, leaders that, you know, oh, you messed up, and leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that's just not helping anybody get better.
Right. Right.
And on the flip side, I've seen other leaders that, you know, even down to mundane tasks such as, you know, we all love our enlisted performance reviews or whatever the equivalent is for the Navy, the Army, the Marines, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
I've seen, you know, oh man, I hate this, or we delegate it, or, you know, hey, it's good learning point if you just did this. But I've seen leaders take, you know, junior enlisted or junior NCOs into a room and be like, hey, this is why I write it this way. This is how I write it this way. So even though it's not a tactical, you know, out there in the field experience,
Right.
you're imparting that knowledge on someone else because they, you know, they've messed up in their career as far as,
Right.
hey, I really got it handed to me whenever I wrote this review or report this way.
Right.
So even tasks such as that as administrative, whether it's out in the field or, you know, in the back office,
Right.
just making sure you're information sharing.
Yeah, that's important. That's very important. You said you're a family guy. You've got 2 kids.
A big reason why I also wanted to leave, you know, my position to commission, you know, was I got to spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
Being, you know, the opportunity to be remote here, you know, I still make it into the office about once or twice a week.
Nice.
Get to see people, and I enjoy the setting here.
Yeah.
But I do have that opportunity to be at home, you know, make sure I'm there when my girls wake up. I can get them to school, take a little bit of stress off of my wife, but and that's priceless to me. You know, my mom growing up she worked multiple jobs. She was in the Air Force as well. She was an ER nurse, so a lot of late shifts or night shifts, whatever that looked like. So I know what that was like and what the moments that, you know, we spent together were like, and they were very important to me. So I wanted to make sure that I'm there as much as possible. You know, I know there's potentially future deployments or you know, TDYs that I'll have to go on for months at a time potentially. So the opportunity to be there every day, every morning, make sure I'm picking them up from school, you know, that's priceless to me. You can't put a price tag on that to me. Being 4 and 2, you know I'll get to be there for all their, you know, practices or games or recitals, whatever that looks like in the future, whatever they choose to do. You just can't put a price on that to me, and that's another, you know, something that GAC offers that you just it's immeasurable. So
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so I'm very thankful to that. GAC does a great job where, hey, bring your family down, bring friends down, you know, happy hours, or whether or not it's, you know, family day or vet fest. There's a lot of opportunities. I brought my wife. I think I was 10 days into working here, and we had the holiday party. And I got to bring my wife, and we got to meet a lot of people and have a good time. So, and you just get to know people that much better, and your spouse, you know, feels more comfortable. You know, hey, I know where he's working, and you know the type of people he's with. I know he's in good hands there. So you know, and I know that they're affording us all these opportunities. So it's something that, like I said, I can't stress enough how important that is to me, and how important that was in my decision to come here once I was offered the opportunity.
That's awesome. Yeah. I definitely wanted to add that in there because I think it's important that people recognize that, especially if you're looking to come to GAC, looking to come to, well, I say GAC, Greencastle Associates Consulting, just in case you didn't quite get to what that meant. Thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you for everything you do here. I mean, and also you're still in the service. So thank you for your service.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It's a great opportunity, and I'm glad I stepped outside of my comfort zone a little bit here. But but no, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob Nieto. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Talk to you later.